My name is Joanna Bart, and this is my show. I've been drawing people ever since I know myself. I remember being on the bus and then just looking at people around me and thinking, I want to know these people's stories. And that's a bit weird. Why I became a filmmaker? Not sure why, but maybe, yeah. Because I'm kind of obsessed with my family history and about the fact that, I don't get to actually check certain things because I'm African. I really want to get to know people, want to know their perspectives so I can learn how to be a better person. Thank you for listening, and I hope you like this. Welcome to the Sassy Space Show. Hello, welcome back to our channel. My name is Joanna Bart, and this is the Sassy Show. Today we are here talking about badass women doing some badass shit. So hold on to your butts and hold on to your butts and stay with us because these gorgeous, beautiful women are here to talk to us about their stories, about their lives, about their childhoods, and they are doing amazing things. Lailana over here is a musician, a singer, producer, and founder of the beautiful, most amazing Wednesday night of the month called Taosol. Over here, it's a beautiful jam place. First time that I went, it was on my birthday, and it was actually the first Taosol, so I was like,
meant to be.
And I didn't even know that I was gonna. Long story. And over here we have Samantha, a beautiful model, actress, and co-founder of Last Looks. Last Looks works with beautiful black women. There are makeup artists and hairstylists. And why should we actually have more black women as hairstylists and makeup artists in the industry of film?
So specifically with our business, Last Looks Beauty, it was started by two actresses, myself and my colleague from Royal Central School of Speech and Drama. In 2020, we started the business, and it was because when we would go on film and television sets, even stage productions, there was never anyone behind the scenes to do hair for those who look like us, black women. So we concocted this plan that we were going to create a business to have a plethora of black women, black artists, anybody identifying with knowing how to do afro hair and makeup on various different skin tones. We would supply those to the production so they wouldn't have to go search far and wide for people who could do afro hair. And that's how Last Looks Beauty came about.
Woo! The first thing that I'm gonna ask, what was your favorite singer when you were a child? Or your favorite singer now?
I will always have one favorite singer in this whole world, and that will be my mom.
Yeah.
Because without this woman taught me how to sing. She put me in those lessons quick, and my mom, she basically trained in opera when she was younger, when she just had me. And then she had my sister when I was 5, and she was she couldn't keep training. And at that point, she was like, "You want to sing?" And I'm like, "Please, I've been asking. I want to learn how to sing since I was 3." And there we are. So my mom. Always number one.
How was your childhood? Because your mama is a singer.
Yeah.
And so, tell me, explain to me.
Well, my mom didn't do music professionally, and that was always her dream. But she was the queen of the karaoke machine, and that's all I wanted to be. I just wanted to be the queen of the karaoke machine, and yeah.
I had some really nice nights on karaoke's, and I've seen people cry. I've seen no, it's because it's beautiful.
True. It brings people together.
So was that the job that you wanted to do?
Karaoke queen.
Karaoke
That's all
queen.
I wanted. Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I get it. What was the job that you wanted to do?
From when I was young?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, when I was 8 years old, I wanted to be a paleontologist.
Ooh.
But my grandmother was like, "You can't play in dirt for a living."
You can't play in dirt.
But she just opened up a world of me and creativity, so I'm not mad at her.
You can play in dirt. I used to play in dirt a lot. I used to be that kid.
Really?
What kid were you?
I ate worms. I did all kind of weird stuff. When you're a kid, everything is you're curious about everything. What's that? Oh, it's someone's booger. Eat it. You just do weird stuff.
Okay, and you say that me playing in dirt is weird. Because you ate worms. makes no sense. But I will get there. And then was that the weirdest thing you said?
The weirdest thing? No, that's not the weirdest thing I've done.
Ah, you did it? Okay, you know what? I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. We're all kids, you know. Body is experimentation.
100%.
It's just like
Human puppies. We're human puppies.
Yeah, honestly, if you think about, I start. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I like to think about now because I'm in this journey of like self-love. I try to be like, okay, you know what? I'm a plant. I'm a plant. I need some water. I need some minerals.
You are a
Nourish
plant.
me.
I need some shit. You need some. Yeah. You need some. I don't know. I'm trying, but it's hard. Yeah. How do you feel? Like, for example, you're obviously a woman of color in two industries that goes hand to hand. We have a musician. We have a person that is an actress and also like a makeup artist and an hairstylist. So like, in what way? Where am I going with this? Like, what do you feel like? Do you feel represented in the media? Like, I don't know. Maybe I should. We can start with you. So, do you feel like represented, or you think that time like people are changing? They're like are hiring more like black hairstylists and makeup artists. You think that there's more care now?
I think the care is in progress. Inclusivity is not a one-off. Okay, we did it. Inclusive. It doesn't work that way. I think it takes time, and you know, good things come through time. I mean, the progress we've made from 2 years ago when we started the business is so large. I mean, we're working with fashion weeks now. We just had like our large brand Superdrug, which was huge for us. And before we might not have been in the mix for such corporations and opportunities. So I think everything needs its grace, and right now we're just walking through the purpose of that grace.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really important that we keep on like talking about subjects like this. And that's all. That's all I have to say. What about you? Do you feel you are Filipino now?
Filipino.
From what I remember,
I'm half.
the country of singers. I must say, like every video that I see, like yeah. But I don't know. Like, do you feel represented in media? What is the type of representation you think you're getting right now? Like,
Okay, it's weird for me because I'm half Filipino, half Lebanese, Palestinian, and back in my home countries, I mean, obviously I grew up with a lot of Lebanese music and Filipino music, and I always saw that around me because that's what I was, you know, subjected to because of my parents. But in mainstream media, I don't actually know a lot of, you know, A-listers or whatever who are of Lebanese, Palestinian, or Filipino descent, you know. So I feel like there are so many of us, like you said. I mean, Filipinos, born and raised, babe, to be a singer is born and bred.
an artist, and the country that also like there's a lot of people. Most of the people from not most of the people, but like I think it's 1/3 of the country's income is because of immigrants. Because unfortunately, people have to like leave and to try to get some money. And it's there's this really cool episode from Anthony Bourdain about the Philippines. I think you should watch. I was crying in the end of it.
Oh.
I was really crying, and one of my best mates, Claire, like I was just like, I need to hug you.
Claire!
I was just like, wow, sorry, but I think I made this a little bit about me, but yeah,
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
representation. Like, sorry, continue.
Actually, funny thing, you'll see a lot of singers, mainstream singers who are actually half Filipino, like Bruno Mars, for example, Olivia Rodrigo. So let's see.
The world is changing.
The world's changing, babe.
Hopefully, for example, do you feel because I was born in Portugal, I feel like until today, if you don't have like Eurocentric features, it's like your face cannot be like in TV or media. And do you feel the same thing about like where you come from? You come from Ohio. You live here. You've been living here for quite a while.
11 years. Yes, I do. I mean, you see it everywhere here. Like there's a standard Western beauty standard that is kind of the favored one, and it's also kind of sad because you go back to Philippines and everyone on the billboards literally has like the fairest skin ever. And why is that? Because we've got the products that all promote people do a lot of bleaching and whitening creams and all that. I also like no surgeries at the perfect point.
For example, I see a lot of our pop stars like divas, and I love them, and I mean it. Beyonce, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, they're all fair and pale skinned women, and it's just like you don't see a lot of like, you know, traces, ethnical traces. What you see is mostly like Eurocentric features in TV, and I was wondering if you felt the same way, like about your hometowns or your countries, as I felt like, you know, when I go back to Portugal, I look at things and I'm like.
I would agree, and I also think there's quite a lot of layers to it, because sometimes I feel like in the entertainment industry, they might accept certain cultures if it's not the American version of the culture. For example, like African Americans aren't as accepted as Black British. There's like an exotic element to it that's more intriguing than people there as well. And I love Black British culture. Like my partner is Black British. I respect it, and I've come to understand and grow and learn so much about it. But back home, that's a bit more accepted than just being African American and people who are there. So I think it's a very, this word, nuanced conversation when it comes to where you're from and what they accept, the westernized mindset of what is acceptable, because it varies depending on what they deem as profitable at the time.
But if you would come to like Portugal, you would be seen as something exotic, and then the Black Cape Verdean or the Black African would be like, you know, set aside. But yeah, I'm sorry, it's basically the same thing. I do understand where you come from. I see that even like the perception that people have of England, for example, before I came here, I thought that the British were like super polite and that they were like super and that they're super open, la la la. And then I came here like 8 years ago, and then I see certain things in this country and lack of recognition for the atrocities that England committed and still commits.
Even for myself here, there's been a struggle because, and I'm just now learning this the past 6 years of me living here, I'm considered mixed race here. And I've been told by other Black people in England that I'm not Black. I'm like a version of Black, but I'm not Black. So there's a lot of like conversations that need to be had of the diaspora, Black diaspora, because it's getting lost. We're all kind of fighting the same fight, but we start to sexualize each fight and create issues that don't need to be. But it's a thing that we have to work on as a community together. Until then, it's just not going to really fare itself out.
Even like we had a conversation with I'm pointing at Bethany over there filming us, but we had this conversation with Ebere Anosike, and she's amazing. She's an historian, and her work is to like decolonize the history of Africa. So to know like what Africa used to look like before the whole Christianity thing, blah blah blah. And one thing that she pointed out is that like, for example, of course, Africa is still Africa, but like in several parts of Africa, you have like people still, I don't know, adoring a religion that colonized them, and seeing, and they were like, because of the colonizers, we were forced to look at our own traditions as, you know, as if we adore the devil or as if it's witchcraft. And one thing that Abere pointed out is that because Africa is like this right now, because there's a massive like economic crisis, capitalism, blah 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 blah, you are at this point where the diaspora is trying to reconnect more to the roots than some parts of Africa, like trying to figure it out, because I mean, in you too, they're trying to erase our story and to erase us. And they did,
And I think that comes with cultural dysphoria. I mean, especially for African Americans, I can speak to my own experience. Like, because you've been, you know, taken away from your land, and generations have been born and bred on a land that's not ours, we have a sense of longing to connect to something that we deem as greater than ourselves. Naturally, that's what you want. And I think it gets lost as people are trying to connect, and others see it as people trying to take over. Because you'll meet people who are like, oh, you know, for the example of saying I'm not black enough, and I just want to connect to people who are, you know, born and bred from Africa. It's kind of like that side eye. It's like, are you gonna come and try and, you know, commercialize our life here? Like, what is your whole premise of what you're trying to do?
I think that this is quite pertinent, like the whole thing of like Black Americans trying to connect with Africa as well, and like what can we not do? What is cultural appropriation? What is not? The thing is that you look exactly like us, and you also go through the same shit. The problem is that in Africa there's like some places where people don't really, I mean not just in Africa, around the world there's plenty of people that don't believe in racism. So there's like this whole idea that Black Americans blah blah blah, but if you do understand that Black Americans were never given the chance to recover because you're still living through that trauma. We Black Africans still, and I cannot say just that I'm a proper African because I am, but I'm also like, I was born and raised in Portugal, so I also have that thing of like feeling, where did, like,
Yeah, where
can
do
I
you fit in?
I can claim, and I will claim it because I was born in an African household, but it's also like, it just feels like I'm too white for my African family, and I'm black to the Portuguese black. I'm African to the Portuguese black. So I'm never really fully like kind of like accepted.
And that's exactly why we galvanized and, you know, brought all the different cultures of Black diaspora together to form Last Looks Beauty, because we're all fighting the same fight. We want to be seen. We want to have the same experience as our white counterparts. That's the whole objective of everything that we do. So especially in our business, we really enjoy meeting people from all over the world so we can connect and just trying to find a greater way to be more inclusive behind the camera.
Thank you so much. That was really cool. I want to know, like, but as I said before, we're here with a beautiful, wonderful Lela, the co-founder of this beautiful night called Tall Salt and Jam. How did this happen?
Well, last year January, an old bandmate of mine asked me if I wanted to come to this jam session in Dalston at the JOA, and I was like, oh, I love free, because me and my bandmates, all we would do like before every rehearsal was to freestyle, right? So I was like, I've never been to a jam session. Is it like an open mic? Will they like, you know, will people judge? What, like, is it all real freestyle? Went to this beautiful, beautiful jam session, and I actually met V.
Oh, cool.
First person I met at the JOA, like, I'm like, what is this amazing place? People are singing, and everyone's like working together, but they don't know me. I don't know if they know each other. Like, I definitely don't know them. And I was called onto the stage, and I sang, and it was the best feeling ever, because I didn't know who the hell these people are, but we were all creating something beautiful. And then I got hooked, and then I started going like 3 or 4 times a week, and yeah, and I kind of became obsessed, right? So I was like, I mean, okay, there are such amazing jams here in London, but out of all the things, like, I'm a very big fan of electro music and obviously live music in all genres, but one thing I was like, I was living with 2 DJs at the time, and I was like, how can we incorporate these musicians? Because the electro side kind of like, I feel like in my experience has been, let's say that I've been in some situations where like live musicians would kind of clash with electronic musicians, and electronic musicians would kind of like be like pushed to the side a little bit because they don't play a live instrument. And because I was living with these DJs, I was like, how do we involve them? And at the time last year, I was doing a lot of live sampling in my own music production, like just taking some electronic sounds, mushing them up, and then fitting them into the song. So I really wanted to try that live. So I was like, what if I create it was just going to be a one-off event. I was like, what if I create this event where we can kind of do a jam with DJs, and then they can bring some samples in and then live mix it in, and then have someone like on an electric synth alongside someone on the piano. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do this one event. Did the one where your birthday, my darling, yes.
Thank you, thank
Your
you.
goals.
I had no idea I was going to land there.
No.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, a one-time event that turned into a monthly event will now hopefully become a weekly event. So look out for Tall Soul Tuesdays.
She's about to steal my points. That's what
All
she's
them.
about to say.
All six.
But honestly, it's cool. Like, honestly, I don't mind. Steal my coins. You have cellos playing.
Yes.
You have amazing bassists.
Yes.
Tio. Shout out to Tio. And not just Tio. You have amazing singers. You have like, I saw this guy, his name is Ugu, on the pads. And on the breaks you have like amazing DJs as well.
Oh.
With a very cool vibe. It's just a mix of like hip hop, like
Yes.
neo soul,
Whatever.
like
It's all genres. We had like just last week we had an amazing Tunisian singer and a Syrian violinist who were literally visiting London for a headline show, and they were like, yeah, we're just gonna pop down, sing a couple songs, and when people, and because everyone who gets on the stage, like no one knows who anyone is, right? So you, to the naked eye, they're just another jammer. These people are like legendary within the Arabic music world. Like they've been in the game for like 30 plus years, and they're just singing at the jam and just jamming along. It's just yeah. So everyone's kind of one, and it doesn't matter what level you are. There's no such thing as levels or anything like that. It's all about just having fun, and whatever comes out of your heart and your body that's it, and everyone just loves it.
your teenage self like would think about the person that you are right now. Your 16-year-old self.
Whoa.
Honey, my yesterday self would be like the first day of spring. I just kind of reset myself and say, look how far you've come. Even if to some your year wasn't full of, so many financial gains, I lived another full year. I got to make more memories.
Yes.
I was healthy. I was loved by at least one person. When you look around and back at your life and that's what you've seen, you are winning. So my younger self would be so proud of everything that I've accomplished, everything that I will accomplish, and everyone that I've loved in my life.
That's really cute. No, for real. I had goosebumps. Y'all are giving me goosebumps nonstop.
Yeah, I think you should just be grateful that I'm still alive and I'm still kicking. Like I'm still here. Like
And kick.
legit. And push.
Breathe, honey.
We made it. Yeah, especially at 16. Oh god. Oh my god. I was going through like my hardcore emo phase, y'all. I was just like
You were emo?
emo for like almost 3 years. Yeah, like
I always hear the question of like, what would you tell your younger self? But what will you tell your older self?
Girl.
girl,
I mean,
I hope you're alive.
I hope you're like, oh my god.
It's an esteem you have.
I just want to get old, You
Yeah.
have anxiety about that?
Getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah, there came a point where my friend was asking me like, can you visualize yourself and how you would look like when you're 80? And I couldn't. And I was like, oh my god, does that mean I'm never, God forbid, like whatever. Yeah, but can you imagine yourself, like imagine your face when you're 80? Can you?
I try my best too. But because it's something that I really want, I'm just like,
Please. Yeah.
Yes, I can visualize it. And it's something I've always seen grace in aging. I love the idea of getting older. Like when I finally turned 30, I was like, I'm 30, you can't tell me anything. When I'm almost 33, but like, I just, every day I'm like, oh. But I think there's something with, you see people who are like 21 and they look like they're almost 40. And I think it's because inside they're like, I can't grow old. Like they're afraid of it, but it's such a beautiful thing.
You're so lucky if you get to grow old.
You're
like.
so lucky. I went through all the phases when I was in high school. So I was goth for 6 months. I went through the phase of I'm going to dress up every single day and look fabulous. I went through the phase of like I was emo for a bit. Like I went through the phase of thinking I was born in the 1920s. So I was wearing like, and people can attest to this from my high school, I was wearing like weird like flapper dresses and I had like my hair in finger waves and stuff for a whole 2 weeks. And everybody was like, oh, Samantha's so weird. But that weird, I kind of, profited off that weird later on. Like, but I mean, I went through every single phase. And the best part was my mother let me. She said, oh, this is what we're wearing this week. Okay. then next week, this is what you're wearing this week. Okay, whatever works for you. And then I asked her about that recently. I was like, Mom, you never like got on me when I was wearing like skulls and crossbones, or when I was like saying I don't do pink, or when I was saying, you know, I'm a 70-year-old, I'm really, you know, 60. She said, I just knew if I just closed in on your dreams that it would just make you like implode on yourself. So I was a fortunate kid, you know. My mom, I love her.
Yeah.
Would you rate, like, what is your favorite memory? Is like, you know, when you're little and you see your mom putting makeup, like, what was the thing they used to use the most or steal the most from your mama?
Oh my goodness, actually yes, and it's like an eyeshadow, a blue iridescent eyeshadow.
Blue?
Yes, and
Blue's your color.
but yeah, I was obsessed with it, and it was like it was just like this one singular eyeshadow, and I remember taking it, and I was so scared that she would. I stole it, and she was like, "Where did it go?" And I didn't. My 3-year-old self didn't know what to do. I didn't want to like say that I took it, so I smashed it into pieces. I smashed it into pieces.
Do you see this?
Yes. Yes. She's crazy. No.
I'm gonna send this to your mom.
No, please.
I'm telling.
Oh, baby, she saw. Literally, I just kept a bit of the powder, and then the other half that was like, I was like, oh my god, I was like, it fell off down the stairs. So, but yeah.
I did the same thing, but with the beer.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom was like,
At 3 years old?
No, not 3 years old. Oh, 3 years old? Wait, I was zoned out for that 3 years. Girl, you were on some moves. Like, 3 years old, you're already like scheming like that. No, she's like, I'm gonna crush these. And she's not gonna find out.
When did you know that your business was working for you? Like what you've created? When did you realize this is something that is golden?
Oh, honestly, I think it was the first ever jam, and there was a moment where, because we were trying out this whole electronic thing, and no one's really done it, so we didn't know how it would work. And I just remember, even though the first hour was like, there was a lot of issues like behind the scenes, you know, but the way I remember I just saw everyone just light up, and people kept telling me like, we've never experienced something like this before, and I'm just like, that's it, that's gonna work. And even before even thinking to start a business out of it, I was just like I've been to so many jams, I know that this stuff works, but yeah, it's just the people, you just see people's reactions to it, and they keep coming back, and they bring their friends, and we've grown into this community and collective kind of thing, and people are asking like, how do I get involved, like, so.
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
thank you.
What about you?
Yesterday?
When was
No.
Yes. No, it's fun.
I think when recently we were nominated and we became finalists for the UK Black Talent Awards.
Yes!
Which is in September if anybody's attending. And I think when they interviewed us, myself and Padeko, who's my business partner, who is lovely, she is so lovely. She's back in South Africa. She just moved back there and she's working in production. And they told us, you know, what you're doing is something that's so needed and we're so proud of you. And hearing the words that someone's proud of you that doesn't even know you is such a big moment, because I don't think we give grace enough to each other just for living and fighting the good fight, no matter what race, gender, you know, ethnicity, whatever, like just to do anything and be passionate about it and have it like come to form and someone share that they think.
Being alive as well.
Yeah, like I think all of that encompasses, like, that's when I realized it was working for us.
Yeah. You're very awesome, honestly. No, I'm very grateful for having you here, and for having you here as well. What is your favorite place to go?
Ice rink. I just look over for myself. If I'm stressed and the ice rink is open, I'm there. Headphones in, skates on.
What about yours? What is your favorite place to go?
There's a trail, it's the 126 trail in Cincinnati, Ohio. I would ride my bike on there for like hours and hours and hours. It's my favorite place.
What makes you do what you do?
If I don't do what I do, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I would be doing, you know. It's what I want to do. It's always what I wanted to do in my life, and fact that I am allowed and able and to do it, so I'm gonna do it.
And you, what makes you do what you do?
It's for the underrepresented communities, it's for leaving a generation of positivity, and it's for just helping others.
In what way can you contribute for the future, for a better future?
By being nice to people, continuing generosity and care to others, and somewhere the world will become better for it.
In what way you or also like are contributing for a better future?
I think with the jams, especially we try to encourage everyone to, to get on stage and be just be themselves and be comfortable with whatever kind of expression comes out of you. So I think it's about creating not only a safe space, but it's about including everyone and letting everyone and hopefully encouraging everyone to be the best versions of themselves.
That's really cute. Like I must say that I usually I'm an anxious bee, and I really don't get out of the house that much. But I feel like the only place that I really go alone is to also because I go there and I have a family basically.
And she rocks the stage every time.
What is your favorite part of your body? Favorite part of your body? It's my brain. It's a lie. It's my titties.
Like a physical part of my body?
Anything. Can be an organ too. I love my stomach. My liver is doing something for me too.
Yes. No. I don't know if it's I think it's my favorite part of everyone's body. I love the eyes. Eyes tell so much. You can just look at someone and
What about yours?
I'll give two answers. So my favorite body part on myself that I love is my back, because I have a massive scar from when I was a child. I had surgery at 2 years old on my lungs. But a lot of times people say that they like my lips, but I'm going with my back.
I will agree.
That's my choice.
That's fine. Favorite time of the day?
When I wake up. I made it
same.
Literally.
And it's a chance to try it again.
Exactly.
I always feel like that when I wake up, I can do this again. Let me see if I can remix.
Is it me or we are all going through the same thing?
Yes.
Got it.
Shared trauma.
So a little bit, how is your relationship with your body?
Me and my body have always had this love-hate relationship. I would say growing up, obviously, all the pressure to look perfect. But what I am actively trying to change every single day for the past, I think I had a wake-up call 4 years ago where I was just feeling so I would look in the mirror and I was oh, yuck, nasty. And I'm wait. This is just a vessel, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the only vessel I'll have until the day I die. So I better appreciate it and love it to the max, because if I don't, no one will. And why would I spend my time hating what I see instead of appreciating every single thing? Mm-hmm. So now I think now even the days where my brain wants to be mean and to my body, I'm wait, brain, hold on. You wouldn't even be here without this. So
Mine has changed so much because now I'm in the stage of my life where I'm I want to have children. Mm. So now I look at my body as more of this crazy beautiful thing. But when I was younger, it was oh, you're fat, you have love handles, all these different things. But now I'm look at what this body is about to do, girl. You have no idea. So I really appreciate what's going on all in here, because it's giving life. Yes. Jocelyn said, you give me life.
No, our bodies are amazing and they do so much for us. Mm-hmm. And they deserve all the love, all the care. Hug yourself, touch yourself, and love somebody. Oh, and love yourself. This is so cute. Shoot, what makes you feel good? When you're having that day, it's Sunday blues.
Literally just talking to anyone that I love, and just people and energy, good energies.
What about you?
Warm pajamas straight out of the dryer. Snuggy.
Oh my god. Mine is, when you you go take a shower, and then you have like fresh bedding, and maybe and then just like, oh, everything is new. Yeah.
I love that. Me yesterday.
Thank you so much for watching. Please share this, subscribe, like this, go follow us on our page, The Sassy Show, thesassyshow.com. And there's like so many interviews, including my own, if you want to check. Yeah, my name is Joanna Vart. This was shot by Bethany, our producer, beautiful founder.
Give us a follow on Last Looks Beauty. Book us for your next production. We work with budgets. If you have a small budget, large budget, we work with anything. So please give us a shout and book our artists.
And you can find me at Lailone, Lailone. And you can find Soul Jam at TAOSOLJAM. And please come to the next event at the JOA in Dalston.
And yeah, please, people, come on. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day. And me, my handle is at Joanna_0F_art. I know. So Joanna Vart for you. I'm so sorry, that was so messy. A little sass.